Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 36 of Ranwin Parked with myself, Conodger, Kurt J. Mack, and ZK.
That's 3 dozen.
I was trying to. 36 is something. In my mind, when I read that number, I was like, 36 is some kind of significance to something. But frankly, every time I read it, I'm just like, wow, we've done this 36 times.
Amazing.
And what it is a ad review program here on NPR.
Ad review.
I still have no idea what to describe this show to anybody as. It's very hard to sell to people, obviously.
Just like a Saab.
Oh, nice tie-in. Well, I mean, honestly, I've tried to sell this show about as much as ZK has tried to sell the Saab. But not very much. Apparently it's
knives are sharp this week.
Apparently it's burn week here on the program.
No rebuttal from ZK.
It's too true.
Do we have any good news to share or any, I don't know, automotive wisdoms?
The people really did smash that like button.
Oh, they did. I forgot all about this. We get to hear the story now.
Yes, the cougar story that everyone is so interested in.
Let's hear this cougar story. Wait, do we need to change the rating of the show?
Well, you see, she was kind of a bit older than I was.
Okay, so
Actually, no, that's not true.
1998.
Wow. So my cougar story. I just jumped right into it. My first car, it was like Cone, a 240. Mine was a 89, I believe.
Same.
So single cam, it was a coupe. It was the two-tone, but in reality, it was actually like a 5-tone. It was an automatic, and the AC didn't work.
Does it ever?
Yeah. And it was kind of weird because the previous owners were, I guess, from New York. And it had New York plates on it, which they just kept. Which in Texas is kind of a weird thing because usually the plates travel with the cars. I know that changes in different states, but in Texas, usually the plate stays with the car. And when buying a car, that's really nice because then a cop doesn't pull you over for not having plates when you drive it home. Anyway. So I get the car, and it's mine. I think technically, this might have been right when I was 18 or actually before that. I went and drove. I think my mom was with me. I can't remember. I think she was, because I drove it to the inspection place, which is sort of semi-illegal without a proper permit. Because it had no plates.
Oh, because it was a non-Texas vehicle, so it didn't have plates.
Well, it was a Texas. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, it is not the sketchiest vehicle I've bought. Let's put it that way. But because you're supposed to get a temporary tag to drive to the inspection place, so then you can get your full plates.
Listen, I'm from Florida. We don't do any of that crap there.
I understand, but I'm in an inspection county, so we had to do that. But the inspection place was literally like 2 streets over, and I drove there, got it inspected, it passed, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
So on the way back, driving through a neighborhood, and to describe this intersection, it's a T intersection. Now if you draw a T, yeah, here we go. Draw a T, but rotated left 90 degrees. So I'm coming from the bottom side. There's a speed bump right before the intersection there.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
And along this T part, there's a cougar driving. A 2000 something cougar.
What color was it?
I believe it was silver.
Okay. And which way was it coming from?
Right to left.
Right to left, so it's coming this way.
Yeah. So he also had a stop sign there. I did not. Okay. Now that we have the scene set. So I'm driving.
Superman was there.
I'm driving, and mind you, this is my first car. Just got it inspected. I'm elated that I can finally like start to drive on my own. I don't know if he actually ran the stop sign or not, but I had right away. And what he said is he expected me to essentially stop for this speed bump when I just kind of didn't.
Because you had a stock suspension S13, which is actually 4 feet off the ground.
Exactly. So he pulled out into the intersection, and I plowed into him. And like I said, this is like I don't even.
There was
like,
one less cougar in the world.
Yeah. The headlight cover, like that on the passenger side, went straight into the top of his wheel and bent the strut tower and everything in.
And
I'm trying to figure out what you're doing here.
Oh, right.
Actually, no. The car was perfectly fine. There was like a dent in the bumper, but if you're familiar with pig noses, that's all like plastic and.
Oh wait, so it was the Cougar
it?
strut tower that got bent?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
I crashed into the Cougar.
Excellent. I thought you meant the S13 strut tower got bent.
Mm-mm. What I got is a tiny little dent in the headlight cover, and which was annoying because it's metal. And then a tiny little dent in the bumper, which I was able to like heat gun out.
Was the Cougar totaled? That's what we need to know.
I mean, so I didn't care.
Oh.
Because he had borrowed the car from his mom or aunt or something. Wasn't supposed to be driving. Didn't have a license or insurance.
Lovely.
And pissed me right off. Mind you, a cop did show up because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have plates on the car because I just got it inspected. So he gave me a bunch of shit for it. But I was like, look, here's the thing. I just got it inspected. But I think because my mom was there, she was so mad. I was so mad for this guy coming out while I was trying to do the right thing. But in the end, I killed his car and mine was fine. But I still hate Ford Cougars or Mercury Cougars.
That's pretty similar to my PT Cruiser hatred. Like, I wouldn't hate PT Cruisers so much if a PT Cruiser hadn't taken my favorite 240 from me. I would draw that out right now, but this would end up being like a 4-hour long program. I don't think anybody has time for that. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not disappointed with this Cougar story. However, I fully expected to be disappointed by this Cougar story.
I tried not to hop you. I don't know.
I just knew there was never going to be a twist where this turned into a Cougar story, is what I'm saying.
Oh, don't we all wish, though?
Anyways, now that we've got the Cougar business taken care of, shall we review some ads? Because that is apparently what we do.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There's a cat puking in the distance, but it's fine. It's part of the charm of the show, really.
Is it on camera? Is it in frame?
No, he decided to leave today for this part of the endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that make me vomit, it's a 1977 Toyota Celica coupe that I can't buy. And it is very much so a Ranwin parked Celica on the East Coast, within distance of me, and I can't buy it because they want $2,300 for it, and I'm trying to buy a truck, and it makes me sad because it's the first one I've seen for sale on the East Coast in many, many years. It is, however, in pretty bad shape and on a very interesting, like, I've done some pretty redneck stuff to work on a car before. Never done the cinder blocks on a hill in order to get under the engine bay level of redneck.
I mean, that looks like it's pretty convenient to change your oil on.
Convenient, sure. Sketchy, sure.
There's a little piece of whatever that is keeping it from rolling forward.
Yeah.
And a
it's totally
rock that I'm
fine.
sure was at one point in front of the wheels.
This classic Toyota was running when I parked it. Timing chain needed adjusting. Okay. I wouldn't.
No further details about what happened after that.
Right. I wouldn't take it. It wouldn't take much to get her on the road again. Special cut 9-inch rallies on this baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do they mean 9-inch width?
I guess that's what they mean. It's got big lips
Because that
on it.
looks way too small to be 9 inches wide on
I know.
one of these.
But Steelies don't usually have big lips like that either.
True.
Either way, it's a coupe. I've always wanted a first generation Celica coupe. It's in restorable condition. I want it so bad, but I'm sure it's already gone by now. And just a real treat to see that they do exist over here still, even if they are in dreadful condition.
I was going to say, it's rusty here and there, but it's got all the trim pieces and headlights and taillights and everything.
It's got the bumpers on it and still got the bumper corners on it. This is one of those cars that people that have horrible taste like to take the bumpers off of, and I judge them forever for it.
No interior pictures, though.
Not a whole lot of pictures or detail here, but I don't need more. It's already broken my heart that it happened to be for sale right now. Why couldn't they wait a year or something? I don't know. It says
Just
ST.
send them a message. Okay, how
Oh,
about I
that's
give
good.
you like 1% of your price? And you just hold it.
Right.
I have $23.
It is an ST, so these came with kind of lame engines over here. I think possibly even lamer than the Corolla's engine, which is impressive. But I don't care. I really love the look and shape of these cars.
So an automatic, allegedly.
Who knows? Who knows?
We'll
and who
never
cares?
know.
If it was an automatic, that'd be very tragic.
A lot of them were automatics, but I
Can't imagine they're any good.
would have no problems changing that. I mean, obviously, I would throw like a Beams engine or something modern in there.
Yes, beams.
Needs more beams.
Although you'd probably try to get me to mega squirt it again.
I am never having you encourage me to do ECU stuff ever again.
But fire, it flames.
You're the enabler that I never knew could exist. I expect the enabling of like different cars to buy. I had no idea you would be an enabler of modifying cars that were running perfectly fine. And speaking of things that are perfectly fine, I'm sure Kurt's car is perfectly fine.
That's a phrase for it. I have a 1978 Dodge Dreamer for only $2,000, less than that Celica. You can have a 95,000 original miles Dodge Dreamer, lost title, but it's already been cleared through the Portland police, and they didn't get in an accident driving it home. I'll write you a receipt.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. The vehicle at 440 in it. I have not heard it run since I've owned it.
Good.
That's like a pre-ran when parked. Custom rims, etched glass, smokestacks, exhaust. To my knowledge, only made 100 of these.
Good.
Only entertaining cash offers. And then here it gets interesting. It gets more interesting than the vehicle itself. Too many people for me to call everybody back. Serious inquiries only. Thanks for looking at my ad. If the ad is still up, I have it. 779 views, not one offer. That's how the FBI puts a hit on you in the USA.
What?
Exactly. That makes perfect sense.
I have
Perfect
no
sense.
idea. Okay, so I would like to first start by saying this was a thing.
I'm aware of it being a thing. Like the,
Also, I
Was.
don't like the bumper.
the
That's my
FBI
problem
putting
with
hits
it.
on you, that is.
Yeah,
I don't,
the bumper and hood scoop,
yeah,
quote unquote.
I don't like it. Oh,
Oh, it's got stacks.
what a face. What a
I
bad
have a
face.
I have a soft spot for old Dodge vans, though, like of this era. Wait a second.
What is that going on to the left of it?
Hold on
Uh,
till the best of.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then.
I just had an epiphany. I was thinking this is one of the Centurion, or I think that's the brand,
Yeah,
or at least
those are Fords, aren't they?
yeah, that's what I thought. Those are Fords. This is
Yeah.
a Dodge.
This is a Dodge. This is a Dodge version of that.
A Dodge
Yeah.
Dreamer.
It's a Dreamer.
But
You-
I wasn't aware of the Dodge existence of these.
You thought it was a Centurion, but you were just dreaming. I'm sorry. Maybe the FBI will put a hit out on me. Who tracks? Obviously, this person doesn't understand how the internet works and how Facebook counts views on anything. Because if I started to upload Random Park to YouTube, it would have 500,000 views because it considers scrolling by something a view.
Right.
779 views and not an offer. Yeah, because it's a $2,000 piece of crap. Like,
Also, what do they mean by etched glass? Like, I was expecting some sort of like frosted glass, like art thing, but
I think
I
I think this is the etched glass. This is the door, and I think it's
Okay.
like foggy.
I think it's a solid door. I'm looking at other ones, and those are just like solid
Look how
doors.
reflective it is.
or transparent, translucent.
Yeah, that's.
Uh,
I think that's
I don't
etched
know.
glass.
I can't find any information about what's actually in that.
I mean, you probably
Yeah,
don't
so-
want to. You get the FBI involved.
they're
It's gonna
not
get
good.
real
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah, that's how the FBI. Yeah, we'll put you on a list.
Oh, ZK. Oh, it's
Yep.
adorable.
Yep, and it's actually pretty close to me.
What's on the front? Okay, sorry. Continue.
They were pretending it's a boat. A Subaru Leon
I'm gonna say
I've never heard-
Leon.
Leon.
or
Leon.
Loyal or Estate Wagon 1600 4x4.
Holy,
Oh my
never do
God.
that to your mic ever again.
Okay.
Oh, he did it again.
He did it immediately.
Apparently, my mic is very clippy this week. I don't know why. Anywho, so I actually saw this morning. It's a Subaru, like our common, like, because is this the generation of all the like Brat and stuff? Well, I guess that's the 70s. It's a little earlier
It's
than
one
that.
generation before the Brat, but the GL.
So it's not the GL.
Right. The GL exists off of this platform. Like, this is pre-GL, basically.
But it's got round headlights,
They have kind of
four-wheel drive,
kind of a
station
funky grill.
wagon, but it's actually small. And this one is beat up.
And they have multiple. And there are classy people.
Yes,
Oh,
very
yeah.
classy.
But for I think they said 12 or $1,500, so even less than either of your cars.
Yeah, the
And
front's
these-
not quite as attractive as the next tech, like the GL Brat era.
I think it's very cute.
It's cute. It's got. I can't transition into this. It's got a nice rear end, and it's cute, but it's not quite as good looking to me as a Brat. It's very weathered.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say, since he has two, the other one looked really nice. I think he's trying to sell his parts car.
Yeah, the roof rack's
Apparently,
cool.
this one has leather seats in good condition, which were a rare option.
Thanks for not including any pictures of these leather seats in good condition.
It's been baking in this Texas sun for 30 years.
Does all the cable on the roof come with it?
If it's copper, it's worth more than the car.
True.
Um,
Oh God, don't tell me that's a car seat in the back. That looks horrible.
for the whole family.
That looks like it would cause more harm than good.
I'm pretty sure it was just thrown back in there. It's not actually where they're supposed to be. I know
Like
it's
the
adorable.
mud.
It's cheap, and like this generation of car, there's not much to them. So I'm sure you could get it running. As far as making it like nice, I don't know if that's really possible.
Do you
'cause
think the
every
tires on the
panel-
front, because they towed it behind something, but like they did the whole thing where there was nobody in the
Oh.
car behind it and it would just like run into it?
I don't know about that. You might be right though, because the only time I've ever done something like that was to push a car, but I don't think this was running.
I don't think this was pushing anything.
Yeah.
Maybe
Price
pushing
is
their luck.
somewhat OBO though. I just caught that.
Ah, get him
Oh,
down
well.
to get him down to 1,000.
I mean, for $1,000, potentially.
It's a good lawn ornament if you had a lawn.
My lawn is full.
It's a yeah, that's a
Piece of
good
Subaru history.
a good Ranwin Park find, but not anything even I would make the mistake of. I have to say.
But she only needed a distributor cone. That's all it needs.
Right.
That's the only thing it needs.
The only thing, and those pristine leather seats. Those pristine leather
Is that the
seats.
baby seat in the back?
It is the. Oh, that would be torture in Texas. A leather baby seat. That's actually cooking children. I don't think that's okay.
I
Get
think
the
that's
spatula. We gotta get Bobby out.
illegal.
Oh man. Yeah. Gross. Let's move on to I'd make that mistake. And for this one, I know I've been down this road before, but this is becoming a bit of an obsession for me. The Ford Fairlane. I blame Kurt for this.
Me,
I
you're
blame
becoming
you
a
for
Ford
it.
person.
I'm not
Yes.
becoming a Ford person.
You're a Ford person now.
I'm just becoming a fan of the Americana car that weren't the muscle cars. I like the ones that are just kind of more plain, but have still a V8 and, manual transmissions and that kind of stuff. And the
Okay,
Fairlane is
cubes.
small. I like the smallness of them. That's why I like the Dart from last, or what was it? It was a Scamp. The Scamp.
Mm.
This one's a little bit, it's a nice car, but it's, I would probably never pay $9,500 for something that would be as mistake worthy. But if I found this body style, it's got to be a 63 because I really like that front grille. That's a mistake I would make. I think it's nice.
They did say they wanted to trade for a Volkswagen Beetle. I know where one of those is.
True. Hey, slag.
Oh, I was thinking good, but
He doesn't have a Beetle. He has a Bug. Old new
Oh.
Beetles, new whatevers. New Bugs are Bugs. Old Bugs are Beetles. There we go. Those are the words.
is that really a thing?
There's so many rules.
Nah, it's really a thing. Yeah, like new Bugs are not Beetles, but old Bugs are Beetles because they were Volkswagen Beetles. They were not Volkswagen Bugs.
But the new ones are literally called New Beetle.
Now they call the new Beetle. They call the new Beetle, but it's still a Bug. I don't know. We need to get Justin involved in this. I feel nobody
Is
knows.
a beetle a bug or is it a dog?
Nobody knows things like this better than him. 3-pedal car, 4 on the floor, very plain, unrestored looking car.
Is it a 302 or?
It's a 302. It looks just like a Falcon, basically, under the hood, because I think they share most everything. I like it. I would. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, simple, but you get the cool fin design. Not over, crazy or look at me.
Wing-a-dinga.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do like this car, but not for this price.
You know what I don't like? Their use of jack stands.
Oh.
No, okay, that's perfectly fine. Just Google cribbing.
I don't want
It's
to.
strong.
Okay, the wood doesn't concern me very much. The jack stands
I
all
just-
the way extended onto the A-arms
Yeah, I just noticed the A-arm part.
on
Yeah.
top of wood. All the things combined there makes me
Okay,
unhappy.
they're not actually under it. They're just putting the camera under there. Okay.
That's far enough. That thing's got enough height that when it goes, it's gonna find a way to knock you out.
Also, are the mufflers held on by those zip ties, or is that no? That's just the e-brake cables.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was unsure of what you were looking at, but yeah, the cables. V-bands on the exhaust. Somebody threw some money into something. What a weird place to do it.
Yeah.
I like it. Too much money for me, but in another life, in another career, maybe this would be something that I would end up in. Sorry,
2.5
Dad.
Kid welded exhaust with Flowmaster mufflers.
Pretty nice. Or Fox Body Mustang. I don't understand why. I mean, to each their own. But why would you want a Fox Body over this? Like, what does a Fox Body do that this doesn't?
It's more square.
All right, you got me. I'll let you have it. I like when we get to do Kurt's I'd make that mistake because he feels like the one that's most on deck to make a mistake.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm not.
I don't know. There's all these gold wings around.
Oh no. Anyway.
Here, I was apparently saved from making this mistake. I had to bring it out since it was brought up in the last episode. Here's not the first Corvair we've had on the show, and not the only Corvair any of us have had in their garage. 64 Chevy Corvair Coupe.
The best year
Four-speed.
and model.
On the floor. The what?
The best year and model and trim.
Excellent condition. It's amazing how well this drives for being 56 years old.
Funny story there, by the way. We'll get back.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I haven't heard, but I'm hearing. Great car for those sunny day cruises. And you'll note they only included 4 pictures in their ad. However, I somehow obtained more.
I also noticed that it has a yellow star on it.
Ah, yes. There's that little nugget too. But this was just a very clean looking Corvair. You don't see a lot with the manual.
It's weird.
Especially not on the floor.
Well,
True.
it has the yellow lights, which is obviously done. But what's weird about this is the headlights background, I guess, is painted black. I think those were chrome stock. Anyway.
Possible.
Looks pretty complete. Like, it doesn't look like one that's been taken apart a bunch of times and hacked back together a bunch.
Very true.
Is the back bent?
The back does have a bend right across the sea of Corvair.
Right, yeah, that's what I was kind of seeing. Like, something,
But
this whole piece here looks a little weird.
yeah. Just a little character, little patina.
Oh, there's that non-engine.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere.
Somewhere
Also,
in there.
What are those air cleaners?
Yeah, where's the air come in?
Underneath.
Oh, good, so it's getting the hottest air from the engine bay. Good, great. Weird how there seems to be more pictures here, Kurt.
It is. It might be because I contacted this person.
Oh man, they even
and
have
asked
the
them for
spare
more
painted.
pictures. You gotta have. Well, you got the spare wheel, but then you also got the spare serpentine belt,
And radio.
So
and the
The
spare
spare
radio
doesn't
just in
go there.
case.
the spare doesn't go in the front.
Really?
Really?
It looks so at home right there. Like it couldn't
Go back
be.
to the engine bay picture. It's supposed to be there off to the right.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
those shiny new air cleaners didn't
Right,
give 'em-
yeah.
Anyway, apparently they purchased it a year or so ago for date nights and cruising.
Adorable.
Adorable, and time to get rid of it for somebody else who wants to go on date nights and cruising.
I've never heard a better description of cubes in my life.
So ZK, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah.
It's pretty slammed, which is awesome.
True. I was looking at that. Like, apparently, it's just they cut the springs. They didn't
Yeah.
know they bought it like this, but that's apparently just the Corvair way to do it.
Yeah. So for those at home, Cubes actually did buy this car. One less Cubes, who was featured in earlier episodes of the show. He just ran out of things to ramble about, I think. Yeah, this is nice. It's one of those other things that makes me depressed about Corvairs, in that this is listed at $5,000, which is roughly the cost it would cost to like fix mine.
Yeah. My dad
Like, for
took
$5,000
very
bucks.
strong offense to you saying like that they're worthless, but I don't think he understands that like you mean that in a financial sense. Like financially, there is no value in restoring them.
There's no value in them, period. And I did try to explain that I do find that kind of sad, because it's one of Chevy's most interesting cars they've ever made. But they're just not worth any money, period.
Maybe someday. It's been
No,
56
'cause
years, but
all the people who would have collected these or thought they were cool are either weirdos like us or dead.
who says there's not going to be more weirdos like us
Who end up dead.
who then end up dead? Yeah,
I don't know. I like
would say after
Corvair.
56 years, it's probably not going to happen. But that's kind of
Yeah.
nice, because when you're just getting into old cars, these will always be there, pretty cheap.
It's
Yeah.
also the exact same year, trim, and color as mine.
It is, yeah, it is very much so a
Which
spitting
kind of I
image.
took offense at, because there was this whole plan for Cubes to come get mine, but that fell through for various reasons.
So you're saying you have an undented trunk?
Right.
Yes, but the rest of the car is.
However,
No, yeah.
I can
No,
already
it's not.
tell you that he's had to replace fuel pump. He's had the belt fly off on multiple occasions.
But that's never a problem, I heard.
Yeah. And
Didn't he have to like grease the belt or something?
yeah, and then he was, I don't remember, there's some weird idle pulley or something like that. Who knows? The belt goes 90 degrees twice. Why? And basically every time so far that he's tried to like take it out and have fun, something has happened and it has not arrived home again.
Because
Using that AAA membership.
Mm-hmm.
through various things, it's his daily.
Right. If you could pick a car to be your daily, not this. Not this one.
It is sort of a sad story, but I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah, it's a story for another day.
Yeah, the way I found out that it ended up in Cubes' hands is that he posted like a picture on his Instagram of just like the word Corvair across the trunk,
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I recognize that dent.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
let's be real here, though. How serious were you about getting it?
I was pretty serious. The girlfriend really liked it.
Oh.
It was just like I really like them. It's just like it was not like the third car I was looking for. Like it was pretty much going to be like
It's
well,
Corolla
it's-
2.0.
yeah,
Yeah,
the Corolla 2.0, yeah, that I can't take on a highway and
Yeah, they
its
make like
current-
110 horsepower. Maybe.
Its current stance, it probably couldn't make it up our bumpy uphill gravel alleyway. So thanks, Cubes. You saved me.
I do like his idea of the drag race, the slowest drag race in the world.
Right. They could be doing it right now and we'd have no idea. I mean, I'm happy that Cubes ended up with it because just from this picture, that looks like less Cubes. Like, that's just, in my mind, that's a less Cubes mobile. And the fact that it's already broken down multiple times also, like, seals the deal. General Motors. I'm not becoming a Ford person.
I don't know.
ZK.
So my mistake is kind of Kurt's mistake.
Yes.
Yes. It's got 4 doors, though.
Yes, it is a 4-door, but it is also only $1,600. And it's a 94 Nissan Pathfinder, 4x4 manual, V6, and most importantly, it has the weird kind of triangle wheels.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I did not expect Kurt to be excited about the triangle wheels.
Those were our favorite feature when we had them last time on the one I picked.
Yeah, it's so good. 1600 OBO. It has the weird rear wing deflector thing, which I still don't quite understand the point of. But
Yeah,
it's there.
especially since it doesn't open.
And as far as I can tell, the truck is a little rough.
Bingo
but
cards
it's fine.
in the car wash.
And it is I really do like this body style of the D21 / Pathfinder with the front vents. I think we mentioned it in the last one that Kurt had, but they didn't have a front end picture. But I like it because it's got like a really short nose.
Yeah, it's stubby.
Yeah, it's stubby and it's got like fender flares.
I was not really a D21 fan myself. I was not very keen on these, but I always had a little soft spot in them because they're basically the truck 240, especially since you can get them with the KA.
Mm-hmm.
And I just knew so many people that drove 240s that also had a Pathfinder. Like, that was the pairing to have. This one's well used.
Yeah, like it's not perfect. It's not even nice.
But it is $1,600.
Yeah. And they say it's mechanically running well, but I mean, who knows? But it's fine. Like, this is in that category of it's cheap enough to essentially be disposable. So who cares?
And then you end up driving it for 10 years and putting 100,000 miles on it.
Exactly. And they even got the monster in the floorboard and the distilled water because it probably burns coolant or
That's
something.
that's a good bingo card thing there is the jug of water in the car. That's how you know it has a coolant leak. Nobody drinks water out of a jug.
Do you think the what brand of water is that?
Like, they got Dasani over there.
The square ones.
And they've got a Pure Leaf iced tea.
Yeah,
I recognize that.
Oh, that's iced tea. Okay.
If you're putting Dasani in your car, then you're at another level from me. Like, I can't approach those levels of.
I also did appreciate the picture in the car wash where it's completely wet.
Oh yeah.
So it makes the paint look shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the front end picture was completely burnt.
Watch for flying parts.
Flying parts.
Ah, rust.
And they have a good sense of humor. Match made in heaven right here.
It is a very good, this is a really, really good, like, mistake-able car.
Mistakable.
It's very mistakable. It could be mistaken for many things. Like yours.
Well, alas, I have no more room for a truck, so we'll be fine.
Well, it's a bit too. Kurt wouldn't drive one that's this beat up. I don't think.
That's this what?
This beat up, like.
Oh.
I don't think you would drive one that's quite this.
But it's
used.
also cheap.
True.
It's not a
You
two-door.
can get, but it's cheap.
It's the illusion of a two-door because the handle is on the pillar.
The illusion.
It tricked me in the thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie.
Got him. Alrighty, and now we move to mildly interesting, where we try very desperately to not be too interesting.
Because
Mine
that makes you disqualified.
Yeah. Mine is very mild from every angle.
It's another Ford.
It is another Ford, but don't at me. The only reason I'm interested in this, and the only reason that this is mildly interesting, even though it is a 1967, I think they called these country wagons or something like that. It's very
A
green.
Fairlane.
It's very 70s. It's got wood. It seems like the kind of thing ZK would drive. It's
You're not wrong.
gigantic. It has the same speedometer as the Ram truck, same year. It has these in the back. I was not aware that there was facing each other third row seat options in these wagons. And this...
Dueling seats.
Hmm?
Dueling seats.
Yeah, dueling seats, and the way that they like cut them so that, well, frankly, I can't understand why they cut them in this way. Like, is this side for a short person and this side's for a taller person? Like,
So my initial thought was maybe somehow they slide and fit together, but that also doesn't make sense.
yeah, I think these just close down to make it a flat
Mm-hmm.
back area.
Would they slide together to like make a bed?
Wait, so
Maybe.
this has 4 rows?
This has, well, depending on your definition, it's 3 rows. Like, this is the middle seat here. And this is the back.
Oh, they're facing that direction. I thought that we were looking from the side.
No, we're looking from the back.
So that's an extra 4 people you can fit back there.
Right, so we're talking 6 up front, 4 in back. That's a lot of people.
10.
You're the worst.
Yeah, but what new car on the market can you fit 10 people in?
Seriously. So I'm trying to sell this one on my brother because he's obsessed with the, I don't remember what it is, 12-passenger Chevy or whatever it was, some kind of
So
super rare Chevy wagon that had.
obviously they're lying because I doubt it has ABS.
I would question the fact that it has ABS. I would also question paying $15,000 for a vehicle like this.
Yeah, that's pretty high. It does seem in decent shape.
It is
but
in decent
it doesn't
shape.
seem like show quality at the same time.
The engine doesn't look like it looks very much so like it's just been used its whole life. And here it is, still going.
What engine is that?
Looking at it, it looks kinda 302-ish to me from here. But
As a Ford guy, he would know.
it could be an FE.
I was partially hoping it was an FE to match the Ram truck of the same year.
It could be. I can't see under the valve covers. That's the tell. So it's a bit hard to see. It doesn't say. Either way, it's a big old wagon that I thought the rear seats were quite interesting. I really like the bolsters too to keep because like
Whoa. You said quite interesting.
oh, well, the rest of it being so very uninteresting helps. Also, reflection of the person taking a picture in the rearview mirror.
What's
From
his
the back
shirt say?
seat.
Where does he work?
Those look like scrubs.
Is that a buffalo?
Hey, wait a minute.
That is a buffalo.
This has
These
got a
are called
lot
bison.
less mildly interesting.
It's pulling a carriage. I didn't know buffalo did that.
Maybe it's an ox. Maybe this is the Oregon Trail. Anyway, before this
Anyway.
gets any more interesting, I gotta get out of here. Kurt.
Be mildly interested at this 1991 Mitsubishi Galant GSX. I believe NA means not a VR4. Because the
No.
VR4
Well,
is the turbo rally.
yeah. I think what they're saying is it's the NA version of a VR4.
which makes it not at all.
Right.
But for $4,000, I guess an Eagle 2000 GTX or a Canadian Mitsubishi Galant GSX still has all-wheel drive, 5-speed, but the naturally aspirated non-turbo. They're claiming it a sensible all-weather rad classic as it is, or install a turbo. Blah 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 blah. Mildly interesting, just because I had to do a lot of research to see what the heck this even was.
It is. If it was a VR4, yeah, then it would be
Right.
it would be too interesting.
Right.
But as it stands, basically, yeah, it's an all-wheel drive Galant, which is, mostly refrigerators these days.
It does
In
have
very
a Ford
nice condition,
G63,
though. It's
though.
been kept very nicely.
It does have a what?
Ford G63.
It does, like every other Mitsubishi from this era.
And some Hyundais.
And many other random vehicles that ended up in. It's really boring looking. Like from this angle, I would just be like, "Oh, is that like an Oldsmobile or something?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the front
Ooh.
end is very Oldsmobile-y.
Yeah.
It's always the rear. The rear end looks exactly like what is it? Actually, I think it's the Buick. Is it one of the '90s Buicks? But
Mhm. Boy, it's really well kept though.
I always wondered for these like weird, like all-wheel drive special edition, in quotations. Like it's not a performance model, but it has all-wheel drive, but it's a basic sedan. Like who is in this market?
Canadians, where it snows all the time.
Yes, I just don't understand snow. I guess.
Yeah, Texan doesn't understand the need for all-wheel drive. Shocking development.
Why are there so many dipsticks?
Where's their dipsticks? One
There's at
dipstick?
least two in the front.
That's not a dipstick. That's
And what
the
is it?
that's the hoist point. Like that's where you pick it up
But why is it so thin?
because they only do it once. Got those big, that's early 90s, like that giant canister air filter situation. Those are always a real joy to change.
Because they always have those quick disconnect snaps, but you can never move anything enough to actually get it out.
Right. Freshly washed undercarriage. No oil here. 3-piece
Yeah, this
drive
is-
shaft.
Double drive.
Look at that tiny little spare. It's adorable. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Yeah. It's pretty mild.
I've been milded.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
This
Like
exists
nothing's absolutely interesting about the interior. Like it's a sedan.
Well done, ad too. I'm gonna give them props on their ad. That's a good ad. Good job.
It's good ad. It's from like there's like a
Oh, don't tell me it's a company.
it's a company, yeah, that does a lot of like importing and stuff, and this was just a weird cheap thing that they imported from Canada, I guess. I don't know.
That faraway land.
Yes,
Canada.
it's so rare to see vehicles from there.
ZK?
We have a 1993 Ford Bronco XLT. It's got a 4x4 transfer motor, 200-pound feeder in front. Runs great. Clear title.
And
It's a hunting truck for $11,500.
and
And what?
and
It's a 93 Bronco. What's it's a hunting truck. It's got 4x4. 137,000 miles. Very mild.
and
Steering from the top.
hydraulic steering from the top.
So this was mild to me because it took me this long. This was what was mildly interesting to me was that it took me this long to find another top steer hunting truck.
We
I
had the
think
one
it
that
was actually the very first episode that I had in
yeah,
mind.
we had the one that like that one connected through with like linkages down into the
Mhm.
body, but apparently this one's hydraulic.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I am mildly interested that it took me this long to find another one, like even similar. And they want way too much money for it.
So let me get this straight. You're like feeding the deer in front of you and then shooting them from the top? Is that what's going on here?
I think that's the idea, yeah.
True quality marksmanship on display.
Yeah. All seasons feeders.
Feed for quality.
It's even got a tow hitch.
It does. Yeah.
It's got two of them, actually.
In Beam and G, you could use both of these. I hate to say it, but it's like pretty well done. I'm very wait, what? Oh. So it like connects to the steering wheel with this thing. Like it controls it. Ew. Oh.
And it's also got F-Series floor mats.
Wow.
Also, I thought it was very cute that they have camo seat covers because that matters.
Right. The deer will never know it's coming.
If you're yourself also wearing camo, you'll blend right in and they'll think it's just regular old seats.
Oh boy. $11,000.
Yeah, I was also very surprised how much they wanted for this because I think the first one I had, they wanted some ridiculously cheap. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Broncos are going up in price.
Maybe these things, as you've discovered, are some rare, sought-after commodity for a certain type of person.
May we never meet them.
I'm selling the show by getting people to stop watching. All right, it is time for the best ads section, and that means we must review last episode's best ofs, which I mean pretty much is Kurt winning and then our other two cars. As Kurt had his Caprice wagon with Caprice wagon, and ZK had a rad looking Pinto truck, and I had a NASCAR themed Pontiac with a really bad front end. And Kurt won. With 210 votes total, Kurt took 156 of them in second, even though I tried desperately to win people over by making my name much longer than both of yours. I still only got 37 votes. And ZK got 17. But really,
great game, guys.
but
Kurt's
really,
just, like, makes me uncomfortable.
really, ZK wins too. Like, this is still ZK here. Like, when I see this, I see ZK. So really, you both win.
No.
he's not having it.
There are no winners here.
I'm really worried about my best of this week because I'm super worried I've already used it before. I'm like I have nothing but deja vu when I look at it, and all I can do is hope that it's not true.
So we need to get this wiki going.
Yeah. This is a 1990 Ford Festiva L. It is an autocross racer Festiva with a wide body and very interesting livery and a ton of engine work and suspension work, and is definitely the most extra Festiva that exists. Does it look familiar to you?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Maybe I just saw it a long time ago because it's been for sale for a year, and that's what made me really worried.
For a year ago.
A year ago, and I was like, oh, I had to have used this before because it's really good. We'll look at this absolute nugget.
Is it still front-wheel drive, or is it like an SHO type thing?
No, it's front-wheel drive.
Or Shogun thing, rather.
Very interesting graphics, and you might think, Yeah, you might think, oh, it's a race car, the interior is going to be stripped and boring. No, no. It continues the theme.
Custom wood dash.
Yeah, with the custom wood dash and large tack, and like it's got all the stuff you need.
The carpeted dash cover thing.
The spray painted shifter and shift boot. And look at this very, very, very tiny side exhaust, like the huge hole for a regular race car, and then like the actual 1.5-inch tip from this. But still,
And as if the engine is in the back.
right? Yep. But still, it's real cool.
I appreciate the box flares. Yeah.
It's very cool. I can no longer go for Mad Dad because I did this. It's got a nice flat, wide butt and no bowl. I don't know what that means.
It's a Festiva.
Festiva.
That's what it says.
Festiva.
Is the front wider than the back? I mean, that would make sense, but
think-
it's also a strange geometry to think about.
I think the front is wider than the back, yeah. Trying to figure out where you were, like hitting cones with that front end would be very, very easy to do. But it's neat. I would autocross that. Not for $12,000, but I would autocross that. It also has a steering ratio quickener, which I'm pretty sure is illegal in SCCA. Don't tell them about that.
Really?
Yep. They are not,
Interesting.
they're not NHTA, whatever the safety board is, they're not approved for street use, and SCCA says nah. Which is basically like it goes in the steering column and like doubles the rate of the steer, like every. It's like if you're on your gamepad steering wheel, if you turn the ratio down and you know it actual fast for every movement, it does that.
I like how it's a Jegs performance racing build engine. Like Jegs is the top of the line for racing.
That's where I would go to get my Festiva engine parts.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
a weird one.
It's a weird one. I like it. It's neat. On the other hand,
Another Subaru for the show, a 2000 Subaru Outback for only $3,000.
it's an Outback, but there ain't much Outback.
No, there isn't. Subaru without a back is what they've deemed it.
Yeah, where's the rest of it?
Exactly.
What happened here?
Well, they've put in an EJ 255. And they've also added on top, sticking out of the hood, as you can see, an Eaton M90. Is that a what is that?
Oh,
Is that a turbocharger?
we know what the Eaton M90 is. Very familiar.
Precision new pump.
It's got meth. It needs a smaller nozzle.
It needs a smaller nozzle. It's just a real class act here.
Why won't they
And-
get closer to it?
It says it's basically Seattle distilled,
Oh, no.
and it has a nice wooden deck in the back.
For no reason. Like there's no tailgate, so you can't put anything back there. Jeez, why is the supercharger so high? It's on
It's that
like
boxer engine, low center of gravity.
You
how
think they
long
just
is
had
that
a
belt?
I was gonna say, do you think they just had a belt and they're like, oh, okay, this is the length we have?
And it's an automatic. Oh my god.
Select the gears.
You can't even sit in the back.
If drugs were a car, this is it. Come on, you gotta have pictures of this engine. No, come on. I want to see more of the
No, I
engine.
know. It's sad. They probably can't open up the hood anymore.
Probably
They
not.
installed it and we're like, oh.
Like, what even is this sitting on top of it here? I guess a rain guard for the filter, maybe? But it doesn't cover the whole thing.
It's got a winch.
You think the supercharger belt goes around that too?
Yeah, I'd like me a truckified vehicle, but this is not good.
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of that. It seems like somebody's supposed to be like standing and holding on to those rails on
Right.
the back or something.
I think this is where we go back to I blame the gambler
Mm-hmm.
for these types of vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous.
Yeah, and I like that, but at the same time they do it ridiculous but bad.
But bad.
I like how I just noticed it still has the two the roof rack and the crossbars, but they're like 3 inches apart from each other.
Right. Gotta be able to put your luggage up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real special, Kurt. It's real special.
It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
There's no love here.
Was it the half gallon of RTV they used for that rear window
Right.
covering thing?
This is all boogery through here. I imagine this was a rear end accident vehicle. That's what I like to imagine. That makes sense, and it makes my heart feel okay.
It's what lets me sleep at night.
Please don't pay $3,000 for this.
No.
Don't do it. And it's an M90. It's not even a 62. Like, come on. You can do better.
Fine.
Fine, I'll return it. And ZK.
We have a 1988 Chevrolet Astro, also known as the Tonka Donka.
Can you
Is
get
that
the...
even a ad? Did you just make
No,
that?
no, I came up with that. I take
Oh.
all credit.
But
Because it's Tonka Donk. Get it?
can you get it for Banca?
Honestly, she might go for it, but let's not go there. I don't need this in my life, but I do because it's got 28-inch rims, and it's Tonka truck themed, and it's got SS badges.
Is it shortened? Like
No, it's just a normal Astro van.
Huh.
Just your everyday average Astro van.
I feel like the body doesn't look the right proportions. Like, it looks
That
different.
might be because of the 28-inch rims.
Could
and
be.
the Lamborghini doors.
And a 350 in there.
Yep, your bog standard 350.
Let's see, we got 295, 25,
28.
28? Like 28 is the okay. Oh, hi finger.
Oh, hey, my eye.
Tonk. Oh god, it's got racing buckets in the back.
Why would you not?
Oh,
And the
dude.
matching interior, the
Oh,
Lambo doors.
that don't
It
have
looks
panels.
like they took out the sound system, which I'm a little sad about because you know I had a bumping
No.
stereo at some point.
Oh, look at this roof.
The
I
clips.
know it's like a Tesla, fast sunroof.
It's like a Tesla. It's sagging in the middle. Oh boy.
Unfortunately, that's all the pictures.
Oh, I don't need more.
Another finger, by the way.
Yeah. What are they hiding here? There's a nail on the tire right there.
You couldn't tell if there was air in those tires or not.
I like the side, the like step rails that are just like obviously square tubing that's been welded underneath. There's a lot to like here.
It's also like I can't say I've ever seen a donked out minivan before.
An Astro van, no lease. No lease?
Oh,
no
it's an
lease.
Astro minivan.
No
It's-
lease.
No, you cannot lease this.
An Astro van is kind of like in between a mini and a full size van. I think technically. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Here's a new classic for you. The $8,000. Facebook just wouldn't let me put a price.
They will take a classic Camaro or Chevelle as a trade, though. That seems fair.
Give him a holler. Bonka's Donka Tonka.
Tonka Donka.
Sorry.
Tonka.
Mean to offend. All right, so
What do they mean by runs and drives great 3 inches? Like I don't even know what that means.
That's as far as it'll run and drive.
Anyway,
I'm done. So we've got the Festiva. We've got the horribly maimed Outback with nothing Outback. Or we've got the Tonka Donka. Get your votes in now and make sure that there's a straw poll in the comments, and I haven't forgotten. That does it for our program this week. Thank you as always for watching or listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
We sound like hostages.
Bye. Let me go.
They might be.